Okay, so slot machines are one of the most addictive forms of gambling across the globe. For instance, in Ontario, over 60% of the profits made off slot machines are off the backs of problem gamblers, despite the fact that problem gamblers only constitute about 3% of the population. This is actually quite remarkable, then, that there's still only handfuls of studies that actually look at the interactions between players and the slot machine games that cause them problems. So this is actually the focus of my research. So what is it about slot machine games? Well, first of all, they're really easy to play. You put in a coin, you spin the reels, you wait for an outcome to happen. Hopefully you get a winning combination on a line. When you get the flashing lights, the winning sounds, and the automatic elevations and reinforcing arousal. Also, we know that these games follow a variable ratio reinforcement schedule. That is, when you are playing, you don't know when the reward's going to occur. What we know from learning theory is that this maximizes responses, and it's also the most resistant to extinction. So that is, you will keep that behavior going despite being on a losing streak or despite financial loss. So today I'm going to talk about multi-line video slot machine games, which I've shown here. These games are increasing in popularity across the globe. These games allow players to play on multiple lines, and what we know is that players do use this function if they can, maximizing on that. What's interesting about these games is that the majority of wins are actually net losses. So you may bet 20 but only get 4 back. You still get the flashing lights and the winning stands, however, from this. So what we've shown in our lab is that people respond to these outcomes physiologically, measured by skin conductance, as if they're wins. They label these outcomes as wins, and they also lead them to overestimate how often they won. What we don't know is how this affects their behavior, which is what I did. So I spent the last 2 years building a casino in the UW, or an operant conditioning chamber, and we had over 100 people come in from the general KW community to play these games. That's to maximize ecological validity and generalizability of our results. So we had them play games where we varied the number of LDWs while keeping the wins rates and the payback percentage constant. And what we found is that LDWs can in fact urge to gamble. They can increase their persistence to lose in a subsequent losing streak as well. While we've taken other things like skin conductance responses, even the force with which they press the button, amongst other things such as anxiety measures and depression, which we know correlate with it, to help try to get a better idea of that. So hopefully our goal with this knowledge is to, as we unpack more, is to help inform public policy and hopefully develop some better responsible gambling measures. Thank you.